My brother was a Marine. He didn't believe in ghosts. But one night, his patrol kept passing the same checkpoint, and someone who had died 3 years earlier was waiting there. My name is Sarah Mitchell, and my brother James is, or was, a Marine. This happened to him in 2019 at a remote training facility in the Mojave Desert. James isn't the type to believe in ghosts. He's practical, methodical. After 2 tours overseas, he'd seen the worst humanity could offer. Nothing rattled him, until the night his patrol got lost in a facility they'd trained in for 6 months. It was a routine night exercise. 4 soldiers in a Humvee, checking perimeter sensors. The route was simple, a 12-mile loop they'd driven dozens of times. At 02:30, they passed Checkpoint Delta. Standard procedure: radio in, note the time, continue. At 02:47, they passed Checkpoint Delta again. "That's impossible," his sergeant said. "We've only been driving 17 minutes. Delta should be an hour away now." They checked the GPS. It showed them in the correct position, but Checkpoint Delta was behind them now, exactly where it should be. They radioed base. "Patrol 7, you passed Delta 17 minutes ago. Why are you reporting it again?" "Because we're looking at it right now." Base went silent. Then Patrol 7 returned to base immediately. But here's where it gets disturbing. They tried to return. They followed the GPS, followed the road they knew by heart. But every 15-18 minutes, they'd pass Checkpoint Delta again. The same checkpoint, the same angle, the same shadows. The digital clock in the Humvee kept moving forward. 03, 020, 035, but they couldn't escape that single stretch of road. "We're burning fuel," the driver said. "Quarter tank already." James noticed something else. Each time they passed Delta, there was a figure standing near the checkpoint, barely visible in the headlights. First time, far away, maybe 50 yards. Second time, closer, 30 yards. Third time, standing right at the checkpoint barrier. "Stop the vehicle," the sergeant ordered. They trained their weapons on the figure. James looked through his night vision scope. "Sarge, that's Private Collins." Collins had died 3 years earlier. Training accident. James had seen the memorial service photos. But there he stood, in full combat gear, completely still, staring at their Humvee. "Collins is dead," the sergeant whispered. "I know, but that's him." The figure raised one hand, not waving, not threatening, just pointing back the way they came. Against all logic, the sergeant ordered them to reverse, drive backward down the road. At 0412, the GPS flickered. The road looked different, and suddenly they could see base lights in the distance. When they arrived, base had been trying to contact them for 2 hours. Their radio had been broadcasting nothing but static. The debriefing lasted 6 hours. 3 different officers, questions repeated over and over. What had they seen? Had they been drinking, using substances? "We saw Collins.
James insisted. The commanding officer's face went pale. "You're the fourth patrol in 3 years to report seeing Collins on that road. The third to get trapped in that loop. They closed that training route permanently. Official reason: structural concerns with the roadway. James requested transfer shortly after. He's out of the Marines now, working as a contractor. He told me he'll never drive in the desert at night again, because sometimes, he says, the dead don't want you to make the same mistakes they did, and sometimes they'll trap you in time itself to make sure you don't."